Hi guys, welcome back to the DCDS YouTube channel. It's great to see you all again. Let's have some fun. You've ruined it. Okay, so first thing I wanted to do is I want you to bring your snare drum round.
Like all of it?
Yeah, the snare drum and the stand.
And the chair?
Yeah, bring the chair as well, yeah. So this is going to be a bit of a slightly different lesson today because, like I said, I'm going to develop these techniques with you. But what I'm also going to be doing is doing it kind of as a tutorial for these guys as well, because a lot of our students watch these videos.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be kind of teaching you and these guys in the same video.
Yeah.
So, okay, so sit down there, and what we're going to do, a nice light stick. So the first technique we're going to develop with you is your one-handed buzz roll. Okay. So do you remember how to do those?
Which was that?
There's two different versions we've done, just whichever you're more comfortable with. Okay. Yeah. So see if you can hold your stick like that. That's it. So squeezing it with your thumb, okay? And then what you're going to do is just grab hold of the end of the stick. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, and you're going to put that between your middle finger and your third finger. That's it. Okay, and see if you can do that. Okay, try and if you put a bit more pressure on with your thumb, that's it. Just take a little bit of. That's the tricky one. But what we're going to work on for today is the easier version. Okay. And this is the one that I'm going to teach to these guys as well. So, what we're going to do is you're going to rest the stick on the rim. If we turn it kind of more around that way, okay, you come around this way a little bit. Just see if you can do it without knocking off the finger.
Right.
That's cool, yeah. Okay, and what we're going to try and do is almost like we're going to start off with it as if you're going to play a rim shot where you hit the rim and the drum head at the same time like that. Okay, so you want the stick resting on the drum head and on the rim like that. Okay, so just do that for me first. Okay, and what we're going to do is I find it works easier with lighter sticks, but you are they 7As that you're working with? 5As, okay, this is slightly heavier, but that's fine. Okay. And what you're doing, essentially, if I show you in slow motion, is kind of lifting the top end of the stick up off the rim, keeping the bottom end on the drum head. Then you're going to bring it down onto the rim, which lifts the other end up and goes back down again, okay? Try if you can to let the stick do all the work. You want to squeeze it a little bit, but not too hard, because that takes the rebound out of it. So you're just basically rocking it backwards and forwards on the rim. Nice. Okay, I want you to try it with a 7A, just to see if that helps you a little bit, because it's a little bit lighter, it's easy to control. Don't make it so hard, it's just like yeah. So that's why you want to have like a few different weights of sticks. You have different sticks for different jobs.
Yeah.
So I've only really seen, I've seen one-handed buzz rolls in a lot of playing. It's used quite a lot in, I've seen it used a lot in jazz playing and stuff like that. And jazz players usually use lighter sticks, kind of more agile, and you can control how hard you hit a lot easier. Whereas if you're using a heavier stick, the weight of them tends to make them come down a bit harder. So yeah, so you've also got the option And this also applies to the drumming challenge. We're not doing the drumming challenge today, I haven't brought the pad. But you can use either 3 fingers or 2 fingers, just take the third finger off. Okay, so yeah, just try that out. So just take a little bit further back. Good. Okay, so there are like little gaps and little breaks in it and stuff like that, but that's always going to happen at first until it just kind of smooths out. So what we're going to do in a minute, because I'm going to show you some other things as well in a sec, but once I've shown you all the bits and pieces, we're going to move you over to the kit and try and get you working into your playing. Okay. So, do you remember what a single stroke roll is? Need you with the stick.
Yeah. As in like.
It's literally just going like right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and so on. The stroke is just the technical word for hit, okay? And single, one, so and it's a roll, so the one hit drum roll, yeah? Da, 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 one hit with each hand. Okay, so by that logic, what do you think a double stroke roll would be? Yeah, just 2. Da, 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 da. Okay, can you remember what a paradiddle is? Close. You got all the right hits, just in the wrong order. I'm going to give you a little tip, okay? Because you have different rudiments. You have the paradiddle and the paradiddle-diddle, okay? Now, what? Yeah, they're all weird words. You have the patafla and the ratamacue, and I don't know who comes up with these words, but basically, if you hear the word diddle, just think of it as like diddle, double. Okay? If it's a diddle, then it's a double. So, and if you...
4, so is that 4 paradiddle?
Kind of. It's so a paradiddle diddle. Okay, let me start at the beginning. Okay, so a paradiddle is made up of single strokes and double strokes. Okay, now if you say paradiddle in your head as you do it, that's why I say diddle double. So it's like paradiddle. Okay, so the para is single strokes, and then if it's a diddle, it's double. Okay, so
if it's paradiddle, it's 4, or is it 2 on the other?
Yeah, so a double and then another double. Okay, so right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left for a paradiddle, or paradiddle diddle is right, left, right, right, left, left. Yeah, or left, right, left, left, right, right. Okay, so it is quite a bit to take in, but that's like really kind of technical playing and stuff. But the reason why I'm going over single strokes and double strokes with you is because I'm going to try and get you used to mixing them, not exactly as paradiddles or anything like that, but using doubles where you want to use them instead of always having to alternate hands. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some triplets with you, which is basically, well, if you were counting triplets, it'd be like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, like groups of 3 notes. But I've always found it easier when I've done triplets. I find it easier to do it as a single stroke followed by a double stroke. So instead of going like right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, like that, I find it easy to go right, left, left. Yeah. So da da da, like that. Right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, or the other way. Left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right. So a single followed by a double. So just see if you can get that down first. Well done.
So just the left, right, left, or the right.
So we're going to try some triplets. So you can lead with your left hand or your right hand, whichever you want. try not to have it so controlled. Try and put a little bit of drive behind it. So it's okay. I usually find it easier to lead with my left hand. So left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right. So relax your right hand a little bit. It's kind of going like all the time. So just left, right, left, right, okay. So you had it, and then you start doing like 3 with the right hand. Okay. It does take a little bit of practice, and as always, the reason why I'm walking you through it and stuff, obviously, these guys can learn from it as well. But you can look back at the video clip once I've uploaded it, and you can kind of hear me explaining it again, so as if I'm still here giving you the lesson. So here you can use single strokes, which is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, or you can mix it with doubles, which is right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, whichever you prefer. Okay, so like I say, it's a little bit more technical than normal, but once you kind of relax into it and you stop overthinking it, it becomes so easy. So what we're going to do, we're going to move you over to the kit. I'm going to put my assortment of drumsticks back in my rucksack. And just while we're waiting, guys, if you guys are new to the YouTube channel and you haven't subscribed yet, just while we're waiting, just hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. That's part of my outro done without you having to ruin it. I'll start to do it again at the end probably, but okay. So I'm going to load up a song. I've got those triplets stuck in my head now. Just keep the volume turned down a little bit, just so, because otherwise the camera will pick up the song and I'll probably get copyright infringement stuff going on. Okay, not bad. So, I noticed that you've got, you had some nice volume changes there in your drum fills, which is something I've started going on quite a bit about with my students lately. Kind of, I noticed it specifically, I think it was on your high tom that you did it. And it was just like a short drum roll, but it kind of crescendoed. It was kind of like that. So what I want to start doing is developing that a little bit further, getting you working with doing drum fills around your whole kit, but hitting with different amounts of force. Okay, so doing like some parts like really quiet and then kind of building up and then bringing it back down and that sort of thing. So just changing your volumes as you move around your kit in the same drum fill. Now, I also noticed with your hi-hats, I mean, looking at it there, you can tell it's out of place just by looking at it. But your arms kind of coming right the way across here like that, it looks really, really awkward. What I need to start doing, just because everything's set up like that, doesn't mean that you have to keep it like that, okay? It's like your drum kit, it's your performance. I want you to imagine in future that you've just turned up to play a show with your band at a venue, and this is the drum kit that's been set up for you, okay? Quite often, not all the time, but sometimes venues will have their own drum kits, and it'll just get set up by somebody who's not actually a drummer.
Yeah.
They'll know where everything's supposed to be positioned, but they won't know. Yeah, they won't know how to set up specifically for a drummer. So, what you need to do is you need to. It's called risk assessment. You need to look at the drum kit. It comes under the same things as making sure you got your water bottle, making sure you got your spare sticks, making sure everything's nice and tight on your kit.
Yeah.
It's checking if there's any risks and preparing against it to make sure that they don't happen, okay? So if you saw that, in fact, come out here, just come on, because I want you to kind of see it from my point of view, and from the point of view you'd see it when you first walked into it, okay? So you're looking at the kit, okay? Now, where your hi-hats would normally be just at the side of your snare drum, there, okay, can you see like how far further back and round to the side it is there?
Yeah.
Okay, so just looking at that, you need to kind of go, okay, that's not going to work for me with my performance, and then you go up and you kind of tweak it so that it's in a more comfortable position for you, okay? So in future, even if your kit's set up like that when you start your lesson, you don't even need to ask. Don't worry about asking anything, just kind of go, okay, this doesn't work for me, I'm going to move that bass drum out of the way for now because I'm not going to need it as much, or I'm going to move it more around to the side, and that'll make space for my hi-hats, okay? Because that's the sort of thing I'm looking for from you. That'll make me really pleased if I kind of see you thinking for yourself about these sorts of things. The next thing, I'm just going to take a look at your snare a sec, because I'm not sure if it was just me, but it just sounded a bit off. It's just got a bit of a ring out going on there. Now, obviously you don't have like dampers or anything like that, like moon gel or E-rings or anything like that, but so there's different ways you can adjust this. One of them, you've got like this screw here.
Oh, is that the tank as well?
Yeah, and what that does, that's connected to these strips, which are connected to your wires. Okay. So, if you tighten that up a little bit, you don't want to do it too much because they'll snap. But because what happens when they're too loose, the vibrations still go through to the bottom drum head and carry through to the wires, but they vibrate loosely. Okay. Yeah, how much better that is now. Still got a bit of a ring out, but it's much sharper and more defined. Okay. So try and bear that in mind in future, because you know how sometimes I mess about with your kit and stuff like that and loosen bits off while you're not looking. I might start doing that, okay? I might also move things a bit out of position, okay? So I want you to watch for these things, because what will happen is one day I can 99% guarantee you will go and turn up to play a show and something will be wrong with the kit. I've never played a show with a borrowed kit where something hasn't been wrong. I've had to adjust.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. Okay, so so what we want to do, just before we carry on, we want to sort those hi-hats out. So it's really up to you. How do you want to adjust your kit? Take a look down here. Okay. Look at the sort of space you've got to work with and what you've got to move to be able to make your situation work. So you might be able to move your snare drum more to the side a little bit. If you could kind of turn it so that the legs are more, that's it. Now look. So it's kind of in there like that, and then just twist it. Yeah. It's one of those. I think the game. I don't know if is it called Tetris? I don't know. Where you got to try and make all the shapes fit in with each other. Yeah, it's basically that. So now what we need to do, the main objective is to get your hi-hats more around towards your snare drum, okay? So in order to do that, we need to move your bass drum. So what we'll do, moving that more around to here. And we need to make sure there's still room for that pedal, okay? So do you want to just slot that onto its thing, that's it. Okay, now let's see if we can bring your hi-hats around a bit more. Ah, look at that, there we go. Okay. Is that more comfortable for you now?
Yeah.
Try and slot this in there, there we go. Yay, made it. Okay, so I'm just going to base this a bit so it doesn't hit that top. Okay, so let's see how that works for you now. So load up another song. It's also not just your hi-hats. If you ever feel like something's a bit out of place and you want to adjust it, just go for it. It's okay. Okay, so that was a really crazy song. Really, really loud, really thrashy, really fast. I liked it. So I think you pretty much picked up on the fact that the timing kept slipping out after the fast, crazy bit, seemed coming back into the rhythm again. That's absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. There is one really good thing that I'm really, really, really happy with you about. The fact that you kind of realised and you managed to keep on realigning it. So I'm going to kind of give you like a little tip on how to kind of adjust that, because one of the main things was you were coming back into your rhythm with a bass drum where I think there should have been a snare drum. Okay, so you were kind of half a bar out.
Yeah.
Half a bar? Quarter of a bar. So I'm going to teach you how to kind of adjust that a lot more easily in a sec. First, one thing that I want to get you doing, and I'm going to start doing this with all the other students as well. I'm noticing that you're using a lot of the different parts of your kit now. I notice you've got your ride cymbal bell going on, you're kind of working with the different parts of your sticks, you've got the whole setup going on. Now you know how I'm always going on about using the other parts of your kit, things like your rims and your shells and your cymbal stands and all that sort of thing. I'll just show you quickly. Now again, I'll use two different types of sticks for this. Now, say like you wanted to use your tom shells. Now I've done this with you in the past. It's kind of difficult from your position to the angle of the toms, isn't it, to kind of do that?
Yeah.
So what I want to get you into the habit of doing is comfortably standing up while you're playing and being able to use the front of your kit, still from behind it, but leaning over your kit to kind of play. That does present the issue of losing your spare sticks when you go onto the floor. So what you also want to have is a stick holder as well. Some people use like big bags of sticks. Some people use like things that just clamp onto the different parts of the kit and hold sticks. Yeah. So that's really up to you. But you actually only have one pair of sticks at the moment, don't you? Yeah. So that's not really an issue. It's something that we're going to have to start working on when you get more sticks. But for now, I want to get you kind of comfortable with standing up and just kind of leaning over your kit. That way you can kind of make contact with different parts of your kit a lot easier. So just before we do that, I'm going to show you how to readjust that timing issue. So just come around here a second.
You don't need anything.
No, I'm going to go around there. Okay, so say like you've just done that whole mad crazy thing going on, and then you've come back in to your basic rock beat, and you realise that the timing's slipped out, so you're playing a bass drum where the snare drum is supposed to be, and you're playing a snare drum where the bass drum is supposed to be. The way you deal with that, I'm going to play it around a few times, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bass drum and hi-hat just as normal, but then where you'd normally put in the snare drum and hi-hat, I'm going to put another bass drum, okay, instead of the snare drum, and that will realign it. I'll put the bass drum back in the right place, okay. So I'll do that sort backwards against the music, yeah. Okay. Okay. So all I did there, stayed nice and relaxed, and then I just played one lap of the basic rock beat with a bass drum where it normally is, and a bass drum where the snare drum goes as well. And then I continued on as normal again from that point, okay? And that should help you with most of your issues.